Yesterday, every Tuesday, I am lucky enough to go on ESPN LA and Sedano and Kappa as a guest on their show. And I go on and we're talking about the Lakers series. It's the Lakers, of course, the home of the Lakers, 710 ESPN LA. And I'm like, I think Thunder in 6. I think the Thunder could maybe, the Lakers could maybe give them a couple of games. And by the end of the conversation with Sedano and Cap and Morales and Bergman and Lindsay and Bruns and everybody there, I'm like, okay, maybe Lakers are not going to take them to 6. They in LA.
They convinced you?
And I'm like, the Lakers have no shot. And then you watch this game and they put up 90 points. There's no Luka. Austin Reeves was terrible. And, oh, by the way, SGA wasn't even that great for SGA. And they still won Smalls by 18 points.
SGA had a very uncharacteristic performance last night with the turnovers, I believe 7 turnovers, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter for the Oklahoma City Thunder because of what carried them last year. They have so much depth. It doesn't matter that SGA is off when Chet gives you 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 block shots. We talked about it yesterday. I did not see a path forward for the LA Lakers to really make it a series with OKC, and they just proved me right last night. I think this one's going to be quick.
It feels like that. It also feels so out of character that we're sitting here, Mr. 20-point himself, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, doesn't really know how to act after he only has 18 points last night. But like you said, Michelle, it's Jared McCann, it's Isaiah Joe, it's Cason Wallace, it's Alex Caruso. What carried them through a finals run last year seems to be the exact same script that they're running with this year, and I don't know if this is going to be more than a 5-game series. Have you shrunk your prediction, Evan? I know you said Lakers in 6,
Court, I feel like I kind of have to.
Yeah.
This is the thing. I don't want to just be influenced by others here, but I'm influenced by watching the game. You mentioned all the bench guys. Somehow they have all bench guys, as we're showing on ESPN2, Jared McCain. I hope Daryl Morey's watching that. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah. They have all like 6'4" to 6'6" guys. It's not like they have these monster, 7-footers coming off the bench. They just have a bunch of really smart, really athletic, I hate the phrase I'm about to use, two-way players, because that's what you're supposed to do in basketball is play offense and defense, but that just make really good plays over and over and over again. And then all my LA crew is telling me you're an idiot for picking the Thunder in 6. It should be less. I get Court. I guess I kind of have to.
So what are you going? Sweep 5?
No, I go 5. But
5.
I don't know. How did the Lakers pull this off?
They're not going to.
Well,
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see it at all.
Barring injury, God forbid.
Yeah.
Additional injury.
Yes.
In addition to Jalen Williams.
Yes.
Who's an all-star, who had 40 points in one game in the NBA Finals last year, who's not playing, and they still won by 18 in a game where Courtney Corona just said, Shai kind of didn't know how to act, only scoring 18 in that game last night.
Well, it's like 15 points below like what his playoff average had been and what his regular season average. Like it's just not normal for him to have a performance like that. But when he doesn't have to be perfect, then I think the rest of the team understands what their role is. Chet Holmgren was phenomenal. It's like their front court had the clear advantage from the jump yesterday, as Michelle and I have pointed out. The depth everywhere on that team is excellent, and even with a lot of mistakes yesterday, the Lakers still made more. That's the thing. Like 4 straight games where they've scored less than 100 points defensively. It's not the brand that they had become within the last couple of months. And you're not going to win games going 10 of 30 from the three-point line. Not against a team that's that deep and has that many ways to beat you.
Well, LeBron gave the Lakers maybe an assessment after the game where by the way, he was excellent, and he's been excellent, and he had 27 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds last night for Los Angeles. LeBron postgame, how can the offense improve missing one Luka?
That was a guy that averaged 37 a game. He averaged 35 this year? 33 and a half?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you asking?
Okay, well, I'm asking, like you guys...
There's the issues right there. We're playing against the number 1 defensive team in the NBA, as far as the ratings and everything. And when you play against great defenses, you have to have guys that can attract multiple defenders on the floor at all time. Even I feel like we had great shots. We got some great shots tonight. We missed them. When you play against the world champions, having a guy that averages 34, 6 and 8 and 8 and 9, whatever the hell that's special. So we have to be better at finding ways to get to the blender, finding ways to get to the paint, We know they're a paint swarming team, so we have to be better with, getting into the paint, not turning the ball over, and then shooting with confidence. But I feel like we got some really good looks, but we should end up late.
That is such an interesting version of LeBron that we have not seen much in his 20-plus years in the public eye. That is a mentally free of pressure man at 41 years old who feels like losing this series doesn't really matter on his resume. I've never seen him like that.
Because you're saying because of the candor?
The candor, the smile, they lost. He kind of comes off like, we got no shot in this series. What are you, crazy? Like, he's the smartest basketball guy on planet Earth. There's no person on planet Earth that is smarter in terms of basketball than LeBron James. Mm-hmm. So he's sitting there like, Luka's not here. He averages 37 a game or whatever it is. Like, what do you want us to do against them? And almost like, hey, the Lakers already made their decision. This ain't my team. This ain't on me if we lose. This is on all these other people. That was as free mentally as I've heard LeBron in a long time. And I found that clip fascinating. His look, for those watching on ESPN2, you could see the smile. This was not, I need to be passive-aggressive and find a way to code everything to make sure when the autopsy of this series is done, it's not my dead body. It's someone else's dead body.
Yeah, you're right. There was no passive-aggressive.
Nothing.
Which we're used. With LeBron, we are used to trying to crack the code. We're used to trying to have to hyper analyze and read the tea leaves.
He told us the code.
But I think
we're not good enough.
But also, I think that's indicative of the imbalance that was happening out on the basketball court last night. He's basically like, I'm going to tell you what I know y'all watched. I don't even need to try to sugarcoat this or put it through any kind of passive aggressive coding at all, because I know that you all just watched the same game I participated in, and there's no way for me to spin this.
There's a really interesting note. So Dave McMenamin, obviously covering this game, does like a recap file. I read it every morning over at ESPN.com. It gives you like the synopsis of what happened and like some really interesting points here. So this happened during a third quarter timeout, and he said what to watch in game 2. So during a third quarter timeout Tuesday, Drake's search and rescue flowed out of the speakers in the PAC Paycom Center. And that's the quote, "I didn't come this far just to come this far and not be happy," an audio dub from Kim Kardashian says in a song. And then he points out how like the lyrics kind of accurately described what happened in that moment. JJ Redick calling a timeout right after the Thunder had gone on a 7-0 run. And it shows you the type of caliber opponent you're going up against now is vastly different than a Rockets team that did not have Kevin Durant. And you can concede to that fact, kind of like what you were just pointing out, Evan, that LeBron seemed like, what do you want us to do? Look at this team. Look at us. Look at what we're missing. Let's be realistic about it. But then again, this is LeBron James we're talking about. I can't for a second put out into the ether that this man isn't going to go into cold-blooded killer mode at some point during the series and do everything he can take to win. I can't get there. And I don't think that they've gotten to the second round right now because they figured out what they had to do in the absence of Austin Reeves. He comes back. LeBron's carrying this team in age 41. Can he do it continuously throughout the series? Logic tells us no. But I can't, for me, I hear him in that clip with the one that we played just a minute ago as it's one game. It's one game. Let's not panic. Let's see what happens when Austin Reeves, when Rui Hachimura, when everybody's shooting gets better, because it was bad last night. I feel like you can look at it as that's a sense of concession, but I also feel like it's way too early to be at that wavelength.
Yeah, yeah. Again, we're reading into words and actions. Your read is that my read is for the first time literally in his life, he's not looked at as the best player on his team, so the pressure is not there. The pressure is on someone else. Now, we could take a step back and say, that's ridiculous. This is LeBron James. Of course there's pressure on him. If you're going to compete with Ghost and MJ specifically, you cannot look at any opportunity that you would have in the postseason as pressureless. But I think that the Lakers made a decision, and I think it's the right one, before the season, basically, in not giving him a contract extension to say, we want the other guy to be the face of the franchise long-term, not you. And I think for the first time, literally, since he was a little kid, like, we're talking pre-high school, that he's not considered the best player on his team by everyone around him and by his quote-unquote bosses, which would be coach, general manager, owner, majority governor of the team, whatever it may be. So I think he's freed himself of any kind of pressure of, like, this loss ain't on me. It's on 77. And he ain't playing. So that's your problem, not mine. That's how I took that. That's the most real, honest, like,